This is the 2023 Ford Bronco. Today, we're going to cover what you need to know about it and break down how much it actually costs to own it. Let's go. This is the Ford Bronco, a midsize SUV that's currently in the 6th generation, which started in 2021. This is the Black Diamond, the third out of the 9 trim levels, in the 4-door hardtop cactus gray version. Starting prices range significantly, with the base at $34,890, all the way to $86,080 for the highest trim, the Raptor. The Bronco gets a 9.1 out of 10 from 3 popular rating companies. Let's cover the exterior. On the outside, you have quite a few customization choices. First, for all trims except the Heritage, Heritage Limited, and the Raptor, you get 11 different standard color options. Second, for all trims except the Raptor, you can choose either 2 doors or 4 doors. The 2-door comes standard with a hardtop, while the 4-door comes standard with the soft top, but you can get either top on any model except the Raptor. And depending on your trim, you also get quite a few options for what kind of hardtop or soft top you want. Let's see how fast I can remove and pack up this hardtop. Taking off the top is pretty straightforward, at least for the front and back seats. The top above the trunk is removable, but we don't want to do it here since it requires you to remove some screws and unplug some wires. The doors are also removable, but we won't show that here. This Bronco has the standard 17-inch black gloss painted steel wheels along with 32-inch all-terrain general tires. You also get steel bash plates, powder-coated steel bumpers in the front and back, 2 rings on the front bumper, and a spare tire on the back. A V6 is standard on the 3 highest trim levels, but for the rest of them, you just get the 2.3-liter EcoBoost 4-cylinder engine, which is what you see here. And for all the models that don't come standard with the V6, you do have the option to upgrade to the V6. Now the 4 and the 6-cylinder get 20 miles per gallon combined, but the V6 in the Raptor gets 15 miles per gallon combined. However, the Badlands and the Black Diamond trim, along with the Sasquatch package, which is one of the available packages you can add to your Bronco, get a slightly worse fuel economy. You can get a 7-speed manual transmission, but that's only with the 2.3-liter V4, and there's currently limited availability at the time of recording. And of course, all Broncos are 4-wheel drive. All interiors come standard with the black onyx, and this trim has the dark space gray and black onyx vinyl seats with an imprint of the Bronco. The steering wheel we get is actually pretty nice. It's a nice leather steering wheel, and then we get a screen behind the steering wheel, and you can cycle through different displays. Our main media screen is touchscreen, where you get the Apple CarPlay. The AC in this car actually blows pretty nice. Check this knob out down here. It says GOAT modes, which means go over any type of terrain. Here you can switch between all of the different modes. Normal, you have Eco, Sport, Slippery, Mud and Ruts, Sand, and you also have Rock Crawl. We get the window buttons actually in the middle because the doors are removable, so it just makes it easier to be able to remove the doors, and you get to avoid all the wiring and stuff to the windows. And also you get your USB ports up here, which has the USB Type A and the USB Type C. Now in the back, we do not get a ton of room. I'm also 6 foot, 230 pounds, so I'm not small, but down here, of course, you get the window controls for the backseat riders. If you open this, you also get another USB Type A and USB Type C port, and then you actually get like a full-on power outlet. Now, the 4-door Bronco has a decent amount of storage space. You get actually about 35.6 cubic feet. In the back here, we actually get drains. So if you're getting a little too rowdy out there in the wetlands, you can come and clean this thing out. Now in the back of the Bronco, another cool feature that we get is a bottle opener under the C-pillar. Now on the road with the Bronco. So the first things that I notice when I'm driving this car are immediately like, you feel everything. Every single bump, hole, rock. It gets going. If you put the pedal down, it really does get going. When you're shifting and stuff like that, it just kind of feels slow and clunky. It's a mid-level off-road vehicle by Ford, so it's not supposed to be extremely luxurious. Honestly, it's one of those cars that you get into and it's not overwhelming. You don't feel like you have to learn a bunch of stuff. It's pretty basic in here. So in the ride height, it feels like you're similar height to a full-size SUV. The driver's side blind spot is impossible to see out of. With the hardtop roof, it might be the same with the soft top. It almost sounds like one of the windows is cracked a smidge, you get a lot of outside noise. Now let's break down the cost of owning one. So if you chose to buy and finance a Bronco, how much will it cost? And how much will you need to make to be able to afford it on average? Let's pause here, because it's important to say that everyone has their own definition of whether they can afford a car or not, which is totally fine. One of the ways some experts determine if a person can afford a car is if all car-related expenses are 20% or less of their after-tax income. This is the method we chose to follow for our videos. But remember, this definition varies person to person. On the Ford website, the base two-door Bronco, which is currently unavailable to order at the time of recording, has a net price of $37,330. Assuming 10% down, a 72-month loan, 5% sales tax, and a 7% interest rate, not including other fees like registration, you get a monthly payment of $605. Let's assume a monthly insurance cost of about $140, which is the average insurance cost for a midsize SUV according to InsuraViz. According to Edmunds, maintenance and repairs are estimated to cost around $70 a month for the first 5 years of ownership. Gas costs come out to about $200 a month, assuming 20 miles per gallon for the average driver. So the total cost is around $1,015 a month. So if you put 20% of your income towards car costs, you would need to make about $61,000 a year after taxes to afford this total cost. Remember, this is for the base two-door Bronco. For the highest trim, the Raptor, not including paid accessories and packages, has a net price of $88,520 according to Ford's website. Using 20% of your income, you would need to make around $115,000 a year after taxes to afford that cost. This gives a midpoint of $88,000. These values are rounded estimates based off the average person. They are not exact. In reality, your cost is going to vary greatly depending on your situation. What else should you know? In terms of safety, the Bronco is not an IIHS top safety pick, and it has not yet been rated by the NHTSA at this time of recording, according to their website. There are also 3 recalls so far, according to the NHTSA. In terms of reliability, J.D. Power gave the new Bronco a score of 77 out of 100. However, there is something important to mention. This is only the 3rd model year of the new Bronco. It's still pretty early to estimate how long these will last on the road without any significant issues. It also makes it hard to estimate the depreciation. You could try to manually calculate the average resale value now compared to MSRP of the 2021 Bronco, for example, but because of the way the car market has acted these past few years, you have to account for those variables as well. It should be easier to get solid values for the reliability and the depreciation once the Bronco has been around for a bit longer. In conclusion, this is the first Bronco that I've driven before, and it looks good, like it's stylish. I think they did a pretty good job with it, but when I think off-road vehicle, like I almost want something a little bit more powerful and maybe just a little bit bigger. It's just, I feel like the 4-cylinder is just not enough in this. You know, if you're just looking for like a commuter, like through the city, but you want to have like a cool looking off-road SUV that's not crazy expensive, I mean, at 20 miles per gallon, it's not a bad option. Now, as far as this 23 Black Diamond Bronco goes, for a Dalton score, I'm going to have to give it a 6.8 out of 10. Thank you guys for watching.